Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon Fire Red, and in this part we finally finished Mount Moon, and as well as do two other very important things. Maybe three, I forget. First off, we're going to fight this super nerd Miguel, and I believe he has a Grimer, a Coughing, and a Magnemite. I'm not really remember. Grimer is more special defense based. As to Coughing, its counterpart, which is physically defensive. Grimer's really, I don't really see a point in Grimer. I mean, it's good special defender, but it's weak against Psychic as well as Ground. At least Coughing got Levitate, so that means it's only weak to Psychic. But personally, I'd rather see it as the switch. That way, Grimer may be able to stand up to ground attacks, and Coughing could possibly stand up to psychic attacks. But, I mean, they are weak against them, so I highly doubt that they're not going to die to, like, a psychic attack, really. I mean, unless you're, like, severely under-leveled, in which case anything goes if you're severely under-leveled. You could either kill the thing, or you could get killed by the thing. I mean, it really depends on that way. I usually am really over-leveled, actually, because I don't, it's not really grinding, it's just I take every opportunity for experience points as possible. I mean, and I will need the money grind in this LP, because I would need if my math is right, I need somewhere up to 400,000 Poké Dollars. So, yeah, I won't do that, of course, until somewhere near the 4th gym, because that's when it's easier to do. You get a fossil there. I don't plan on using the fossil for anything but to regenerate the Pokemon for the Pokedex entry. Mostly because they start at level 5, and you can get them like right before the 7th gym. And level 5 at that point in the game is really, really hard to train. Those two guys that we passed, one is a move tutor for Mega Punch, and the other is a move tutor for Mega Kick. I can recommend Mega Punch. I mean, it's a normal move, 80. I think it has the same stats as Strength. It might be 85 instead of 80. I'm not sure. We're gonna heal right here because I'm gonna take on the gym right now, just because there's a rival battle coming up, and since I still only am fighting with my Ivysaur, I need to give it as much levels as possible. So I'm just gonna go over here and take on the gym. If you started with Charmander, I'd recommend picking up a Pikachu back in Viridian Forest for this, because I mean there are other alternatives to beating it easily, but that is by far the easiest in my opinion. Pretty much everything's gonna die in here to Razor Leaf in one hit, except for Misty Starmie, because it's fully evolved and Starmie's a little bit bulky. Personally, I might have used this a Starmie if if the Pokemon that I had chose as my water type for this LP wasn't like better. And Shelter goes down. Shelter is really, really defensive. In the original Red, Blue, Yellow, you could use its evolved form Cloyster to, as long as you went back then, if you went faster than the opponent, you could keep using moves like Wrap or Clamp or Fire Spin to make it so that the enemy can't move. And if you start off with like a Toxic and then proceed to use Clamp, it will, as long as you continue to outspeed it, you'll never lose a fight if you did that. Of course, that's only for endgame purposes. I mean, if back then, if you were to use that like against somebody else, you probably would have got destroyed by something, because there are plenty of things that can outspeed a Cloyster. You gotta watch out for this Goldeen here, because I believe it knows Peck, and that's a flying type move. I mean, it doesn't do much, but it still can hurt a lot if you're not careful. She has a Staryu and a Starmie. She's relatively easy to beat. Level 18. It doesn't have a gender, which is I don't know. When I was a little kid, I always thought that Pokemon without genders were legendary Pokemon. Of course, I learned now that there are some Pokemon that don't have genders that aren't legendaries. I mean, could you imagine if I didn't know that now and Pokemon's been out for like about the same amount of years as I've been alive? So that'd be a little bit sad, to be honest. She's gonna use a super potion right here, and the random number generator just hates me. Because if you saw last time how much damage it did, it should have died to that Razor Leaf. But because the random number generator is a jerk, I decided to let it live. I'm just going to use Razor Leaf again. I probably could have just finished it off with Tackle. But, I don't know. I just like Razor Leaf more, you know. I don't want to just kill it. I want to overkill it. And we go to level 27. And that's the second gym right there. She gives you 2100. And she gives you the TM for Water Pulse. It's an okay water move, but I mean, I'm not going to use it because my water type's water move is going to be Surf. I mean, you get an extra 35 power, and compare the Water Pulse, it's 35 power, more power, but you lose like an added effect of confusing because Water Pulse has a chance of confusing Pokemon hit by it. But, I mean, I'd rather have the extra 35 power than the ability to confuse, so I don't really care. It's going to go in and heal up because, as I said, there's a rival battle coming up pretty soon, and I'm going to tackle it right now. Actually, it's this one's relatively hard, especially if you don't have a second Pokemon. Since I only have one, I could have had a very hard time. But I didn't, of course. I beat it in one shot. So I'm just going to head and... I intended to open up with Sleep Powder because I knew that Pidgeotto was probably going to spam Sand Attack. And, of course, I mean, it only has 90 accuracy. So that means there's a 10% chance that I'll miss. But it seems like there's a 50% chance that I'll miss. I don't know why I even attempted the Sleep Powder at this point. This is why I left Pokemon that I caught in my team, because if I hadn't and I only really did have this Ivysaur, I'd probably be screwed because I would have just lost because I decided to just sit here and keep trying to use Sleep Powder for whatever reason instead of trying Tackle. I don't know what I was thinking when I just decided to keep using that. And that critical hit, I was just like, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna switch Pokemon. And I think that if I hadn't switched to my Nidorina, I don't think I would have won this this battle. I'm gonna take this opportunity to heal up my Ivysaur. I was hoping I'd have something more powerful than a potion, but I mean a potion is gonna do. And this is why I think I won the battle, because Pidgeotto got poisoned, and that pretty much took it down for me. I mean, really, by the time Ivysaur got back out there, I believe it was in the red. I think. It might have still been in the yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. I think it's yellow. It's like a little traffic light. It's green when you're good to go. It's yellow when it's just like, oh, you should slow down. You should maybe not use this one. And it's red. It's just like, you know what? Just stop. Don't use me anymore. I'm gonna die. I mean, of course, you can still use Pokemon when they're in the red. Yeah, actually, Pidgeotto should be in the red before Ivysaur gets to attack it. Yep, there it goes, hurt by poison, and it's in the red. Okay, now Tackle. Now that your accuracy is improved, and you only have a 5% chance of missing, which is... That's only theoretical probability. I mean, the actual amount of times that it would have hit is probably like 25%, because this game just hates me when it's trying to be for accuracy, or pretty much anything that has an added effect will always work against me. I'm just gonna do the Sleep Leech Seed combo here because I don't really want to sit there and spam potions on his Charmander, and this Charmander does no Ember, and it can completely obliterate my Ivysaur. I'm still thinking that Razor Leaf would have did more than Tackle. But I don't know. Maybe it does like this around the same amount of damage, and the random number generator is just a jerk. I don't remember what happened. Pretty sure I just spam tackle because it did a decent amount of damage, enough for I think it would have been a 3-hit kill without Leech Seed, but Leech Seed made it a definite 2-hit kill. And had it not been a 2, and then that critical right there, I mean, that just blew it over right there. I didn't even need that critical. So, useless critical was actually helpful in this case. I'm not. And this Abra only knows teleport, even though it should be a Kadabra right now, by now, since level 16. It should have evolved, and it should learn Confusion, but it doesn't, because he's an idiot. And I just want everybody to know that. Like, every Pokemon trainer in here, except for you, like, the character you play as, is generally very stupid. Because they don't like to evolve their Pokemon right away. And if they do evolve their Pokemon, they evolve at a level before you can, which is just weird. That's just like... So, you're able to have, like, a level 14-something Raticate, and I have to wait till level 20. Because that is just perfectly fair. So, there's, third rival battle now. Very easy, and, he's gonna give you the Fame Checker, which is just, like, a little added thing. It's not very useful. That is about it for this video. So, I'm just gonna, like, get, time run out for a couple more seconds. But next time we'll take on the Nugget Bridge. See ya.